So I know I've been like MIA for several days straight. Guess who caught, I don't know if it was like a stomach flu or what? This bitch. So, yeah. That's why I've been missing. But anyways, needless to say, Lippies of the Week. I'm just gonna roll over last week's into this week since they didn't get used enough because that happened. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little extra time. But anyway, we're gonna be doing something a little different here today. I have never in my life waxed my legs, but a company sent me a waxing kit. So we're gonna be doing that today. Let me go get it for you. Okay, so this is the Auperwel wax heater, upgraded version, APW-WH02, professional use only. Well, I'm not a professional, but we're gonna use it anyway. So, that's what it looks like on the box, although I have the black variation of it. It comes with an adjustable temperature switch, removable 16.9 ounce pot, a semi-transparent cover, a 3-pin safe plug. Let's see here. And then it's just got stuff on the usage of the heater. Has a working light. Adjustable temperature, I already said that. Constant temperature. Okay. Well, top's a little wonky because I opened it to make sure everything's here. It did come with some wax. We've got these pink beads. There's 2 packets of them. And these blue beads. I'm probably going to use blue just because I like blue better. As far as I can tell, looking at these, they seem to be identical other than just the color. I think it's just an aesthetic thing. Although it seems like the pink ones feel a little looser in the packages, whereas the blue ones feel like they're sticking to each other, so I don't even know what's up with that. It also comes with these popsicle sticks for the application. Now, because it's hard wax, it doesn't require the usual strips to rip it off. It's literally just you put the wax down on your skin, you let it dry, you peel it off, you're done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, whoops, alright. Pick this up out here. We've got the actual wax heater itself, but I hopefully did not break when I picked it up, because that did not sound fantastic, I will admit. That's the lid. Oh, what do we got? Guess this is the bucket. Oh yeah. So it's even got the little stick in there to like clean the sticks. It's got a little handle. I think that's why I heard this handle moving. So you can take it in and out of there. That's pretty cool. Then if you just want to use a little bit, which is what I'm going to do, they have what looks like essentially like these teeny little like cooking pans almost. They're not cooking pans, although they are aluminum. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Cool, I thought there was only 4 of them. And they're cute and heart-shaped. I'm like, aw, they're adorable. Now, I'm going to have to read the instructions because I'm not sure if you just place those inside the other one to heat it up or what, or if you just put directly down in the base. I need to look at that because I don't want to destroy these by doing that. Now, there's a reason I'm only going to do a tiny little bit of it on this first run, and that is because not only did this company send me these to do, sorry, there's like a little bit of stuff here. Okay, hopefully that is not wax. I think it's glue that's holding it together. Not only did this company send me a wax kit, but through Thomason on almost the same exact day, another company sent me a thing of wax beads. They both need their reviews. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do one leg with the Auperwel, I'm gonna do the other leg with the other brand. We'll see how they do, but I will be using this heater for both. So, anyways, it's, here's what the front of it looks like. We've got various temperature settings. I like that it's in Fahrenheit, because if it were in Celsius, I'd have no idea what's going on. It goes all the way up to 185 degrees. I don't think we need it to go that high. On here, it needs to be hot about 110, but not so hot that you get burnt. So yeah, we definitely do not need it to get all the way hot. In videos that I watched about this thing, I saw people turn it up just to initially melt the beads, but then they turn it back down to where it's like usable on the skin. So I might do that just so it's faster. But yeah, I need to read the instructions on this bad boy, and then we can do the thing. Am I nervous? Terrified, but we're doing it anyway. From what I've seen in other videos, people keep insisting up and down that this is non-painful. Part of me feels like this might be a lie, but we're going to find out. You know that I don't BS you guys. If it hurts, I will be the first one to be a baby and tell you. But if it doesn't hurt, I will also tell you that it legitimately didn't. So, I am nervous, but I also am super curious to see how this is gonna go. So, let me read the instructions and we will do the thing. Okay, so I never did find out one way or the other if I put this little tray inside the thing directly or inside this guy. So I'm gonna try and put it inside this guy so I have this stick to clean off my popsicle stick on. But I'm really not 100% certain. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. It's got a very short wire, so I have to sit on the floor, otherwise it won't reach the outlet. Go ahead and unplug the TV to do that, but that's okay. Alright, so with that in mind, oh wow, like immediately I already feel a bit of heat coming out of that. That's insane-o. Wow. Well, I guess I'll let that begin to heat up while I figure out how much wax to put in here. Now, as I disclosed, I'm only going to use a little bit because I'm only doing one leg with this stuff, one with the other brand. I'm only going up to the knee because really I don't have much anything above the knee, and even what's below the knee is not like very much. Like, you can see it's short. Actually, I don't even know if that shows up at all because the lighting is so bright in here. I assure you, there is some here. There, we can see a little better there. It's not great, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it used to be a lot thicker when I was younger. Premenopause is a bitch. But anyway, so, I'm gonna go ahead. This has a nice resealable thing on it, so that's nice and handy. I'm just gonna fill the bottom of this tin, I think. Okay. And if there's some leftovers, you know, maybe I'll do an arm or something. I don't know. Okay. Alright, we'll see. I can always add melt more if need be, whereas I can't unmelt it if there's too much. So I'd rather just start with a little and give it a bit. So let me show you my setup that I'm doing here. Okay, see, I've got it in there just directly, so we will see how long it takes these to melt. Now, if it had been like a full thing, it says like 11 to 15 minutes, but there's so little here. What I saw on YouTube was generally like about 3 minutes, so we will see. So an observation as it's melting, I was wondering if it would have a smell or anything. If you've ever used a hot glue gun, it totally smells just like the hot glue smell, which, I mean, there's not much of a smell there, but it's like exactly that smell, which makes me wonder, is that essentially what I'm going to be putting on my legs and ripping the hair off with, is basically hot glue? Oh boy, I told you I'm very nervous about this. I'm very, very nervous. I'm hoping that I'm nervous for nothing and that it's going to be no big deal and totally won't even hurt that much, but we shall see. I mean, I'm somebody who's a baby about ripping off a Band-Aid if there's hair underneath, so, you know, just full disclosure, I'm like, oh boy, what have I gotten myself into? But then again, if it turns out to not be that bad, maybe I will retire from shaving forever and be a strictly wax girl. Who knows? Who even knows? I suppose we will find out. It's starting to get nice and liquidy now, finally. There's a little bit still stuck to the stick, but it's working on melting. And we will be ready to start pretty soon here, I think. It's got a nice liquidy, gluey texture, which I think is exactly what we're looking for here. I will show you. This is what it's looking like now, guys. It's very gluey, very liquidy. See, there's still a little bit on the stick that there's like one bead left that needs to melt on there because I foolishly stuck the stick down in there while it was first starting to melt. So one got stuck to the stick right off the bat, and I've been waiting for that last one to melt. So when it does, I will let it cool a little bit and then start sticking it on my legs. Okay, I think I'm gonna get this started, so I'm gonna have to tilt this down a bit. I have a skirt on with shorts underneath, so don't worry about potential flashing. It won't happen. There's nothing to flash because there's shorts on under. But anyway, so let's pull this a bit closer. That's as close as I can get. Damn, okay. So let's try this out. Hope it's not still too hot. Okay, it's gotta drip off the stick first. Okay, stop dripping, please. Please stop dripping. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's start with something like that, you know? It's not too hot, it's fine. Let's do the thing that like all the YouTubers do, like stick the stick in it and try to like rip it off with that. We'll see if it works. I don't know if it will, but I'm gonna try it. Then you wait like 30 to 45 seconds to where it's not sticky anymore, and then you rip. There's one loose piece here that I'm trying to mitigate. One. No. Ooh, okay. Alright. A little bit ouchy, but not terrible. That's fairly tolerable, actually. I can live with that. There's a little bit of residue, but ultimately not terrible. I'm kind of surprised. I was expecting way worse. It's kind of stuck to the stick now, unfortunately, but let's yeah, let's not use the stick for that. Because now I've got like this stuck on there, and I'm like, now what? Well, let's not get it under the nails. Yeah, I definitely didn't think that one through, but it did rip some off. I don't think I used quite enough of it, really, so let's go a little thicker this time. I'll just use my fingers this time, though, instead of the stick. I have a feeling this will be a very time-consuming process, and I should probably have actually melted more wax in there. One, two, three, rip. Oh yeah, it definitely does have hairs in it. Yeah, okay. It's kind of alarming to see it, but on the other hand, it's like, that does work. That does work. I'll probably re-go over that one spot where there's a little residue, see if I can get it to pull up with it. But that's not bad. Okay. Let me get that loose string of it over there, just out of my way. Kind of have to work quickly with this stuff. It's like the one downside, but okay. Let's re-go over that spot. 2, 3, rip. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that, I mean, yeah, it does have like a little tiny bit of a sting when you rip it, but I mean, it's nothing like what I was expecting. Nothing at all. That is so much more tolerable than I thought it would be. But yeah, I think I do just need to use more wax than I was initially using. So I think I will melt some more in there before we film too much of this. Because I don't think that tiny little baby amount I used is gonna turn out to be enough to do even just the one leg from the knee down. So hold on. So it does seem to be work. It's just slow going. That might be a learning curve since I've never done this before and I'm still learning the ropes of it, or maybe it just is that time consuming of a thing. I've filled one of these little things with wax I've pulled off my leg and I'm still not even done with just the front part of my calf, which definitely makes me glad that I'm only going to the knee, because I could be here all day otherwise, I feel like. But again, I don't think that's necessarily the fault of the wax. I think that's more just learning curve on my part, because what has been coming up has been working. It's just a slow process. So, but legitimately it doesn't really hurt. I mean, it's a little bit of sting as it's actively coming up and that's it. Like, I have fairly sensitive skin and it doesn't even feel like particularly irritated where it's been ripped up from. I mean, I'm noticing a few little red dots from where it yanked the hairs out, but I mean, that's about all I've really noticed, so that's pretty good, I think. The only annoyance is a little bit of like blue residue here and there from the wax. I'm not quite sure how to get off, but other than that, it's not bad. And if you know what you're doing, I bet this works a lot better. Just saying. Okay, so I did eventually get that leg done up to the knee, and boy, that was time consuming. I still think that's probably more just me not entirely knowing what I'm doing yet. It's not the fault of the product, because the product does work. It does. It is a messy, messy process, and again, maybe my own just not knowing what I'm doing yet, but it does work. From this angle, there's no like real good way for me to get my leg up high enough to show how well it did, but I think really it only maybe missed about 3 or 4 hairs total. I mean, granted, some spots I had to go over more than once, but again, I think that was my user error of going over it with too thin of a layer at first. Took me a while to figure out that you have to go a bit thicker than that for it to actually work and do the thing. If you go too thin, it'll peel off your skin, but it's not gonna do the thing. So, go thick enough for it to actually grab the hairs. But, yeah, of the ones it missed, it wasn't even the fault of the wax. If I had shaved, the same thing would have happened, because they're weird little ingrowns where they look like they're just laying flat on top of the skin, but you can't actually move them unless you, like, grab a pair of tweezers and, like, slightly dig them out enough to be able to grab them and then pluck them. So, I did do that, just to get those out of there, because the rest of it's all great. Very nice and smooth. It's very nice not having bumps or anything. I'm a fan of that. I definitely like how smooth it all feels. Now, one thing that was not, well, 2 things not mentioned in the instructions that I wish were, but Google was able to answer for me. And nowhere in there did it mention that you need like some olive oil or some mineral oil or something on hand to loosen up the leftover, the wax residue that's still on your skin after the process. Because sure, you'll get most of it to peel off, but there'll be little bits here and there that are just like glued to your skin, and you'll be there for days trying to just pick it off, and I feel like that's really bad for your skin, trying to like dig at your skin trying to pick it all off. But if you get some olive oil or mineral oil on a cotton ball and like set it on the spot for a minute or 2, or in that annoying point of the day where the sun is like interfering with this. Nope, that made it worse. Let's... No, oh, okay. we'll work with it. We'll work with it. Anyways, if you put it on a cotton ball and set it on it for a little bit and then rub at it, it will loosen up and come off. So don't worry, you're not stuck with the wax on your skin permanently. It does and will come off. As for cleaning the unit, because I did eventually figure out I think I need more in there than just that little tin. So I put them in the thing and oh my god. In the little tins, it's easy to pop it out when it's dry, but out of the unit, it's a bit harder. So I ended up reheating it because I found out I could not do the same process from there of just trying to peel it out when it was dry like I did from the tin. So I re-melted it and then scraped and poured it into one of the tins as best I could from as much of it as I could. And then let the remainder dry, and then did the same cotton ball soaked in olive oil thing and rubbed it out. And eventually got it cleaned up. Very messy, very time consuming, but it is doable. I would say if you are a newbie to this process, you might want to make a day of it if you're anything like I was with this. But I mean, it does work. And any issues I have with it, I think are more on me than the product. The product seems fine. Product's great. It actually does its thing. I just, like I said, there's definitely a learning curve to this. And the irony is, it took me this long to do one leg to the knee. I know, guys. Let me hit stop on this till that phone stops ringing. Okay, sorry about that. The overall process was surprisingly not painful. There were a few points where I had reheated the wax and forgot to turn it back down some, and it burned a little bit. Not like scalding, didn't blister or anything, nothing that terrible, nothing like that, just enough to sting because it was a little too hot, but that was on me, not on the product. And that was really the only thing that even like particularly hurt with it. The actual waxing process, no. Which, I mean, for all the horror stories you hear about waxing, I was like, really? That's it? That's it? That's what I've been so scared of my whole life? That was surprisingly tolerable. Don't know if it's worse if you have it done the other way that uses the strips, but at least this method of it, no, really not bad. I was pleasantly surprised. So I think I would definitely recommend this product to you guys. Just saying. It's surprisingly affordable for the whole set, too. I'm gonna include the link in this video, although if you're watching this on Amazon, then you already know where it is. But regardless, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would say if you've ever been curious about wanting to try waxing your legs or wherever at home, and you don't know what kit to get, this is a pretty good beginner-friendly kit that is also budget-friendly and more or less dummy-proof. Like I said, there was a couple things I had to look up, but I included those things here, so you don't even have to look them up. So yeah, pretty much dummy-proof. You are good to go. It's a good product from a brand that, admittedly, although I had never heard of them, surprisingly a good brand. So that's about all I have to say for this. Okay, I know this video is all edited weird. It's because I have two videos of it going up. One that's here on YouTube, one for on the actual Amazon site. So, like, the intro I'm not including, and then the outro I'm not including because it's not necessary for Amazon. But for here on YouTube it is, so anyways, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below, make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Etsy, everything and more, it's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, bye-bye.